These pumpkin seeds don't look very special, but they are the beginnings of a super-sized pumpkin. The seeds are germinated and begin their plant life in a pot like many other kinds of plants. It is when they are transplanted into the ground that the real work begins. Watering is essential to the growth, and a small shelter for protection from sun and storms can also benefit the plant, because these plants get big fast. A watering system is laid out into the patch. Feeder lines of soaker hoses are threaded through the plant as it grows, and stretched beyond as well, anticipating the future growth. The water system has meters to measure the volume and timers set up to water the plants. A fertilizing feed system is integrated into the water flow as well. Note the trenches here. The side vines are buried in the trenches as they grow out. The stems will then root into the ground, which stabilizes the vine stems and the leaves, particularly in windy conditions. The leaves are tended with care, especially from pests, as leaves are the main source of food that will be directed into the growth of the pumpkin. The main stalk gets very heavy as the plant grows. Any splits or cracks need to be treated with fungicide to retain the health of the plant. You want to get a forest of stalks and leaves. The great day arrives. Bob and Joe are ready to pollinate the flowers. A female bloom has been chosen and her vital parts isolated from bug intervention by sealing the petals together. Then the chosen male blossom had been picked very early in the morning and moved to a safe environment to open. Its petals are then removed and the pollen-laden stamen brushed down into the female flower. The flower is again closed up to prevent bug contamination during the pollination. The female bloom has a bulb at the base of the flower that will become the giant pumpkin. Once it starts growing into a pumpkin-sized shape, proper bedding is laid down to accommodate the growth and the weight of the pumpkin. This one is going to get big. And 3 weeks later, yes, this is what we have. A growth rate of over 40 pounds a day. Queen Bess sits on her throne. Bob is spraying the skin with a calcium mixture which helps condition the outer surface. Grow lights are installed to wake up the plant early and keep it going as the autumn days shorten. A little cleanup, and at last Queen Bess is ready to harvest. It's time then for the pumpkin cutting party. Friends and relatives and neighbors gather round for the big occasion. Joe gets the first cut. Then Bob frees the queen from her massive tangle of vines and leaves. A special harness attached to a Bobcat tractor will do the lifting. The straps are fitted carefully around Queen Bess and secured. Slowly she is lifted and set down on a pallet and moved to the trailer. The pallet and the trailer had to be oversized for this big queen. Friends and neighbors are very glad they came to witness the cutting of Queen Bess. Now it's early morning, and time to be moving on to the pumpkin show for the weigh-off. Queen Bess and her entourage depart for the show. Circleville hosted the 103rd Pumpkin Show in 2009 with parades and beauty queens and plenty of music too.
Next up we have Bob and Joe Liggett in Circleville. Been growing pumpkins for 17 years.
But all eyes on the first day were focused on the center of town as the big moment arrives. Queen Bess is again lifted while Bob and Joe look on, set carefully down on the weighing scale. Bob and Joe are full of anxiety. What will it weigh? The crowd waits. Anticipation grows. Wow, 1,636 pounds. A new Circleville record, and Bob's biggest ever. Congratulations, Bob and Joe Liggett. And afterwards, what do you do with a giant pumpkin? Well, first, cut it open and get the seeds out. Then let the grandkids have a fling with Queen Bess. After all, she has plenty to smile about.